People, fellas, homies, compadres, my people, have you ever wondered, for once in your measly, pathetic lives, for once, have you ever wondered what is the best Pokemon in Pokemon Unite? And I'm telling you right now, you don't know the answer to that. You won't know the answer to that until I tell you. And so that's why I'm gonna switch channels right now to this right here, the Pokemon Unite tier list by a noob that has never played a MOBA in his entire life. That's a lie, sort of. So when it comes to my MOBA experience, it's very minimal, very petite, almost none if I'm being honest. But this is going off of my experience going into the match rank. I have not played every character in the game, but I would like you guys to go ahead and consider my thoughts, because I have put quite a bit of time into the game. If we could, no, actually, I don't think it'll tell me right off the top of the bat. Trust me, I've been playing a lot of this game religiously. I have literally gone home voluntarily off of work to try and play this game. Anyways, we're gonna go off with the very beginning off of this game. We have Venusaur, as a certain Wolfie will call him. Venusaur is actually kind of looking like a C tier. I say this because Venusaur does do heavy damage, but as opposed to literally every other character in this entire game, Venusaur actually is extremely predictable. Like, you can read every single Razor Leaf that he does. You can read every Solar Beam that he does, because it's telegraphed so heavily. Even though if he lands it, you have so much opportunity to avoid it that it kind of doesn't matter, to be honest. It's really sad, if we're being completely honest. It makes me wish that Venusaur had more to it, because as a competitive VGC player, Venusaur would be in S tier in his own right, or her own right. But when it comes to Pokemon Unite, it's just not there. It really drops the ball. However, when it comes to Gengar, immediate S. Anyone that tells you that Gengar is less than S, I recommend that you file a lawsuit against that person, because they are lying to you. Gengar is actually one of the best Pokemon in the entire game, because when you combine all of the cumulative special attack boosts that you can potentially get in this game, as well as all of the items you attribute to him, you end up soloing your own counter, which, by the way, that counter is Cinderace. And if you know, you know. And if you know, you know. And if you don't know, Mr. Mime, one of my least favorite Pokemon to actually look at, is actually gonna be in the A tier. So, I don't like looking at Mr. Mime. I think Mr. Mime is one of the ugliest Pokemon in the entire game, in the entire franchise, if I'm being completely honest. But when it comes to Pokemon Unite, the barriers have done wonders, and that's not an exaggeration. The barriers have legitimately done wonders for me in any of the games that I've played. And I'm kind of realizing right now that the S tier and the A tier, I actually personally have not played, but I have played alongside with or against. Here on out, I'm gonna play the Pokemon that I played as first, and then I'll go along and place the Pokemon that I have not personally played afterwards. So, I have not played Snorlax, but I have played Gardevoir. Gardevoir is a solid A tier. A tier? Ahead of Mr. Mime. I'm gonna try to not order them, but give a brief synopsis on those characters. So A tier might have Gardevoir in front of Mr. Mime, and that's more subjective. But I think it's gonna be up to every viewer's interpretation of it. But TLDR, Gardevoir is an actual problem in this game. Not quite as heavy hitting as Mr. Mime. Just kidding. Not quite as heavy hitting as Gengar, because Gengar can solo like 3 Pokemon at a time for free. When you hex, and then I don't know what the move is, but they teleport, they hit you, and if you are hexed, you're gone. You're gone. You're in the afterlife with Gengar. Gardevoir can do massive special damage, but you do require just a tiny bit petite de support. And if you don't have that, I don't know how effective you can be. I haven't been all too successful with I was gonna say Gandorf, Gardevoir, but it's still an extremely solid Pokemon. Now I'm gonna show my colors a little bit. Snorlax, Absol, Garchomp, Lucario, Rock Pokemon, Greninja, Talonflame, Charizard. This is the next Pokemon I've played when it comes to this tier list. And he's honestly a deer, just trash. I get very sad when I see Charizard on my team. Now, Charizard does have some attributes that stand out above the rest. For example, his Fire Blast. Any AoE effect that he has is honestly not half bad. But when you come to Flare Blitz, when you come to Fire Punch, just throw the whole Pokemon away, man. This Pokemon is trash. If your teammates don't know how to build an effective Charizard, or don't have the appropriate support for that Charizard, he's gonna suffer quite a bit. And I'll admit, I kinda lied to you guys. I actually also played quite a bit of Garchomp, and Garchomp I'm gonna put in the B tier. And the reason I'm putting him in B tier, you guys may or may not disagree with me, but Charizard, actually, that kind of makes me want to put Gardevoir behind Mr. Mime, because they suffer from the same casualties. Garchomp is a physical Gardevoir. Gardevoir is a special Garchomp, because they both evolve at level 6, they both evolve at level 10, and they don't have the firepower to continue in those early stages unless they are jungling, and you most likely don't want either of these Pokemon to jungle, at least from a noob perspective. That's how I kind of see the game. All of that said, they can be very effective if they have the early lead, especially when it comes to experience. When it comes to evolving, they have that potential to become early threats, but only if they are permitted. And all of that said, I think Gardevoir might be in B tier, because she does need the support. Early game, she needs the support. Late game, she can solo Slowbro, she can solo Snorlax. I think they both belong in B tier, because like Alicia Keys says, we belong together. The next Pokemon I want to tier is actually going to be Zeraora, which is hands down behind Gengar. So, why did you click off of this video right now? And I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you, fellas, I'm gonna tell you. So, when it comes to a group battle, say I'm gonna put Gengar and Zero. Sorry, my mic was off. I'm gonna put Gengar and Zeraora in the exact same situation. You are 3v1-ing the opponent. You are Gengar versus 3. You are Zeraora versus 3. In those exact same situations, I promise you, Gengar will come up on top. Even if they don't knock out all 3 of those opposing Pokemon, that will be more effective than a Zeraora against those same 3 Pokemon. Why? It's just Gengar has a better build for a special attack. And that's kind of the entire reasoning, to be honest. It's just a better Pokemon. Don't pick a bad Pokemon. So, the next Pokemon that I have played is pretty far down the list. All of that said, I am going to add another tier, which is not letting me do the thing. So I am unfortunate enough to not have played the beta with many people. So Clefable and Blastoise are in this year, not released. They're not there. They're not there. I don't know who's feeding you the propaganda, but they're not there, so how can you judge them? However, Pokemon that you can judge off of personal experience, Ninetales, high C tier. B tier is gonna be exclusive to Gardevoir and Garchomp. And if there's any problems with that, you can talk to the manager, okay? But the reason I'm putting Ninetales in C tier, actually above Venusaur, is because Venusaur can do big damage, right? Like, you have Solar Beam, you have Razor Leaf, you can do some big damage. But when it comes to Ninetales, Ninetales has utility in the back. Ninetales actually can do some extra stuff that I don't think Venusaur would compensate off of. And like, say for example you have Ninetales Pikachu, and in the same alternative universe you have Charizard Venusaur. You can tell which one's gonna do better just off of what I said, right? At the very least, I hope you can. So, that should be my reasoning. That should be enough reasoning why. So, Charizard D tier. Sorry, Venusaur's gonna have you beat Charizard any day of the week. This fucking bird, D tier. I have yet to find a Cramorant or a person promoting Cramorant to prove me wrong. I personally think Cramorant is one of the worst Pokemon in the game. I understand his niche. I understand what he's supposed to do when it comes to the overall team composition, area control, all of that. But he doesn't exceed in those roles. I don't know if it's a perspective of my personal ranking or my team's ranking, because Pokemon Unite does some weird mechanics when it comes to figuring out who belongs and where in the team. And that goes for ranked and standard. I don't think Cramorant deserves anything at all. We do have a few more Pokemon to play around. Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff is a high C tier. Just kidding. It's a low C tier. It's a mid C tier. So Wigglytuff can do some work when it comes to a team composition. You're most likely gonna see Wigglytuff go bottom. And when she goes bottom, let me tell you, she does not go bottom. She eats the whole ass. And it's honestly my favorite Pokemon in the entire game to play. I can't play her competitively because you see my threats. But when it comes to a standard or just casual match, I think Wigglytuff is my favorite Pokemon to play. Her sing is just mwah, chef's kiss. And she gives so much opportunity for her teammates to come through and retaliate on her behalf. Double Slap doesn't do too much. Dazzling Gleam can stun, but it's not the bee's knees. It's just, hey, I'm gonna hold you here until I can do what I need to do, or I can get someone else to do that on my behalf. And honestly, those perspectives come from her not being able to do much damage. I think she's a really good support. I think she can make some plays, but Gardevoir, Garchomp kind of make that gatekeeping stance for me. And there's just only one other Pokemon I can really speak on. Garchomp is above Gardevoir and Garchomp. Machamp is above Gardevoir and Garchomp. I don't know what I just said, but I know what I said. And believe me when I say so. So, I'm gonna ask you this right now. Not as a Pokemon, but as a person. How closely do you feel to your main? And I know that sounds kind of cringe. Maybe some of you can relate to a character in Unite. But when it comes to a personal connection to a Pokemon, what Pokemon do you choose? Because I'm telling you right now, when it comes to Unite, the Pokemon I choose is Machamp. Machamp is, I think, what I wanted to describe my playstyle in the early game, but is realized through its own character available right now. Machamp has so many tools at his disposal that it honestly at times can feel like cheating. Sure, whatever it is, what it is, but my stance doesn't really change. I think he's a phenomenal Pokemon that can consistently, keyword consistently, put more damage than Gardevoir or Garchomp. All of that said, the rest of the Pokemon that you see down here, I don't have any affiliation towards. So, I'm gonna start off with Blissey. Blissey never released. I don't know anything about Blissey at all. No one does. All of that said, Slow Bro. Slow Bro, top of C, but bottom of B. I might move Slowbro around. The reason I would is because Slowbro is a great wall that relies on his opponents. And I'm gonna tell you right now, as someone that mostly plays with randoms, relying on your opponents is not viable. Not even a little bit. Like, take this much and subtract it by half, and then subtract that by half, and then grab a microscope and then look at the molecular structure of my fingers. It's not happening. But I will call you on my radio and I'll let you know how it's all going. It's just not gonna go very well, and I promise you that. Otherwise, we have Snorlax. Snorlax is mid-A. Snorlax has so many tools in his toolkit that the harder part of this tier list is choosing what moveset I want to go with him. But overall, I think he has so much utility that depending on your team composition, he is able to adapt off the main screen. And not a lot of Pokemon can say that, to be completely honest. It's a gift. It's a gift. And speaking of gifts, I'm so happy that Absol's in the game. Absol's right there. Absol's right there. This is gonna be ordered because we only have another 7 Pokemon. I think I've given my experiences. Again, some of them have been through gameplay. Some of them have been through my opposing team's compositions. But I think when it comes to that, I think we're in a good spot. I think I'm able to convey the feeling, the environment of my area to my units. I think Absol is very, very, very receptive to that. And no matter Absol is receptive to where he needs to be, but it's up to the player to recognize where Absol needs to be. All that said, I haven't been let down by an Absol player just yet, but only time will tell. I think the crit builds that Absol runs right now aren't the most effective, but they are there for standard. Ranked, I wouldn't recommend it. However, in the S tier, I do place Lucario. I haven't played Lucario, but goddamn, am I scared of Lucario? Lucario is a genuine nightmare, a problem, a thesis statement that I wrote in college about why selective breeding is an issue. Lucario is an actual problem, and please, for the love of God, run away, get some help, call your therapist, or at the very least, call Crustle. Crustle is ahead of... Crustle is bottom C tier, above Cramorant and Charizard, and the reason is control. So, I think, let me put it this way. Cramorant is very good at control. Charizard is more damage, and then you get Crustle. Crustle can actually do more control than Cramorant because of the wall, because of X-Scissor. There's so many more tools that fit under more situations than Cramorant can display. And it's just a better Cramorant, to be honest. To be completely honest. It's kind of hard not accepting that reality. And if you don't, please get some help. For me and for you. Or just get my channel a subscription. You know, YouTube is free. Completely free. Hey! Anyways, we have 5 Pokemon. Cinderace is pretty good. Cinderace is top of A tier. I wouldn't put it at S tier because it's situational. So, Cinderace is widely regarded as the counter to Gengar. But Gengar can do so much damage before Cinderace even gets to that Pokemon. So it's like, what are you really trying to accomplish? What are you doing? I don't think they know the answer to that either. But you know who doesn't know the answer? The Mangekyo Sharingan Greninja. Greninja can do some work. Greninja, I think, is top of C. No, I think maybe above Wigglytuff, but not below Ninetales. And the only reason I say that is because the damage output on Greninja is really good, but there's no Greninja mains that are good online. And it kinda hurts me to say that, but it's true. No Greninjas are good online. Don't even lie. Don't even lie. Don't even lie. They're all trash. But speaking of trash, D tier, I'm gonna put Talonflame behind Cramorant. First of all, I'm gonna be completely clear. I love my avian allies. Alright? I think Talonflame is one of my favorite starting birds in all of the franchise. But god damn, Talonflame is... Talonflame? Talonflame right here. Me, level 1 Pikachu. Trash, garbage, basura. Don't let any team composition. If you want to win, if you really care about your team, don't let them play Talonflame. I will say on record that Talonflame has the cutest chef's kiss skin for Fletchling. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And it hurts me to say that. But all of that said, we have 2 Pokemon to go through. And I'm gonna be honest, Pikachu, I'm gonna rate Pikachu top, right here. That looks good. Pikachu has Electro Weapon, and that's the only utility Pikachu has. Don't play Pikachu. And if I had to add a new, row. First of all, I would delete the first row that I accidentally did. Delete row. There you go. And this is literally your only healer in the entire game. There's no more healers. That's your only healer. Take it for what you will. But this is literally, this is ish. That's it. That's your whole tier list right there. Let me know if you disagree or if you agree. I think I gave somewhat reasonable contributions to this conversation, but let's be honest, man. No one is ever gonna 100% agree with you. First of all, I completely ignored my entire chat throughout all of this. But all of that said, you guys have a great night. I'm gonna go ahead and get some rest because I've been up for literally 24 hours and I am very tired. Have a good night. Love you all. Get some rest. Get some good ranks, and I will see you guys on the next one.